A guy named Pierre is writing my diary entry for me because I'm too sexually obsessed with him to think about anything else. He asked to write it. He has ideas, big ideas, he tells me. When he isn't scribbling, he looks into a mirror for inspiration, I guess. He's about 5'10" or 11, tall for a French guy. Gray hair, black, curly. Typical skinny guy's back. Bigger arms than you'd think. Pinkish, whitish, hairless skin. No moles, pimples, scars, weird hairs, tattoos. Typical skinny guy's ass. Bigger legs than you'd think. My bed is round. It's situated in the exact center of my room and surrounded by stained wood floors. It's the only thing there. It's like West Berlin. When I'm fucking someone and he accidentally falls off the bed, I like to pretend he's about to be shot for trying to defect. Or I did before AIDS ruined death. Someone I love as much as I can love died. He was in the hospital wearing a Walkman. It wasn't on when he just stopped making that horrible sound. I'm inferring this since I couldn't face seeing him. I called once. It was like trying to talk to a squeaky door. You're in a room reading or watching TV and there's a draft and you get so fed up with this door being pushed back and forth that you mutter out loud to yourself like that would stop the noise. I told someone I knew to tell my friend that he couldn't die, but I don't think the message was passed on. People should live, is the point. Even him. Even like that. I guess if I had my choice, I'd have sex with someone who's unconscious and fairly young. In porn, and sometimes in literature, X can drug his nephew, screw the body, and cause irreparable interior damage, which instills pathos in a contrived scene. In real life, boys scream. When they come down off your drugs, they tell. When Kenny something or other was found raped and strangled and dumped, I wrote a satiric monologue in the killer's voice. The death became sexy, disturbing, etc. People laughed when I read it aloud. It gave Kenny permanence, meaning. The real Kenny is boned by now. Hardly anyone knew him. What I believed to be weirdly sexy becomes an occasional thought. Yawn. I'd say more if I knew what was happening to me. Pierre shudders slightly. That's truly disgusting, he says, still scribbling. Finally, you about ready? For what? He says vacantly. Unintelligible. Very funny, but what if you give me AIDS? Unintelligible. Pierre looking down at his half-hard cock. You're scaring me. Pierre returns to his scribbling. By now he has used up both sides of the page and is beginning to blacken the margins. The paper curls up at its edges like a boat, or a large dry leaf, or a sculpture called Kenny. It's really captured the kid. Kenny walks into a bar. Screwdriver. Since he's 11 years old, they won't serve him. But seeing as how he's so cute, the bartender says he can stay if he services everyone in the bar. Kenny shrugs and is led into a foul-smelling restroom. He sits down in one of the stalls. The toilet seat is so large he has to splay his legs to keep from toppling into the bowl. All night, guys use his mouth for whatever they want. He likes it. It confirms some idea he has of himself. At 4, they kick him out. He wanders around. The man looks at him funny. Kenny doesn't know what that means, but he sucks the guy off in his car. They get along. Kenny moves into the guy's mansion and lies around by the pool. I think I could love you, he says, but it will take time. But after a while, the man gets bored. His friends think he's nuts not to screw Kenny 24 hours a day. You're welcome to use him, he says, but I'm telling you there's nothing there. They do. Kenny starts losing a lot of weight. Some of his friends think that's hot. They think his sniffling and cough are the result of the coat problem. The cold won't go away. Kenny can't get around on his own anymore, so the men's friends pay Kenny's hospital bills. He hates being sick, but he never expected to change the world. He's dying? No kidding. He's on some kind of machine. No one bothers to visit him, not even me. I made him up. One night, Kenny dies in his sleep. Someone thinks I should know, calls. I listen, thank the caller, hang up the phone and think, big deal. Pierre lays down his pen, turns around, arches his eyebrows. That's it? That's the end of the story? But who was the kid? How did he die, and why? You're missing the point, Pierre, which is, what's your guess? Unintelligible, unintelligible. Look, it's not that I'm not attracted to you or anything, he mumbles. It's just, it's not that big a concern. If you want me, you'll have to force me in some way. Otherwise, I'll disappoint you. It's not that I'm not, gay. It's not that I'm scared of AIDS. It's just, I don't know, I just don't have sex that high on my list of whatever. I'd rather talk or listen to you talk or... Wait, he reaches behind him and grabs the sculpture called Kenny. Take this, read it, print it, please. It's a description of Pierre in very hackneyed, glowing terms, and there's no way I'm going to print it because it doesn't have anything to do with this diary, as beautiful as Pierre looks today, even upset. But he's my friend,